For years, gardeners were trained to believe that stronger fertilizers meant better plants. Then the bans started rolling in, synthetic inputs restricted, miracle formulas pulled from shelves. Suddenly, soil that depended on force-fed nutrients began to collapse. But here's the truth. Seasoned growers quietly know. Plants never needed those fertilizers in the first place. Long before regulations, labels, and aggressive marketing, growers relied on biostimulants, living natural activators that woke soil up instead of overpowering it. These weren't banned because they failed. They were forgotten because they couldn't be patented or scaled. And once you understand how they work, you realize why plants respond so explosively to them. Fertilizers push nutrients into plants whether the soil is ready or not. Biostimulants do the opposite. They activate soil biology, so nutrients already present become available at the right time and in the right form. Instead of force-feeding plants, they stimulate root exudation, microbial exchange, enzyme activity, and mineral cycling. Growth becomes balanced, resilient, and sustained. That's why plants fed this way don't just grow fast, they grow strong. Sea minerals, they actually reawaken plant metabolism from the inside. Before bottled kelp extracts became, watered-down products, coastal growers used raw sea minerals and fermented seaweed teas. Now, these weren't applied for nitrogen or phosphorus. They were really used for trace elements and natural growth hormones like cytokinins and auxins, and even the tiniest amounts can trigger increased cell division, thicker stems, and improved leaf expansion. What most gardeners miss is that these compounds don't feed plants directly. Instead, they signal plants to grow. Used sparingly in soil drenches or foliar sprays, sea-derived biostimulants create a visible response within just a few days, and all without stressing the roots. Fermented plant extracts, they sort of teach soil how to feed itself. Weeds have always been teachers in the garden, Fast-growing plants like comfrey, nettle, amaranth, and chickweed accumulate minerals deep in the soil and concentrate them in their leaves. When these plants are fermented rather than composted, their nutrients become immediately bioavailable while also preserving enzymes and organic acids. This creates a living extract that soil microbes recognize instantly. When poured into beds or around root zones, these ferments don't overwhelm plants. They trigger microbial blooms that unlock phosphorus, potassium, and micronutrients already stuck in the soil. Worm-derived liquids that rebuild root systems instead of foliage alone. Worm castings get the attention, but the real power lies in the liquid phase. Properly brewed worm casting tea acts less like fertilizer and more like a communication system. It delivers beneficial bacteria, fungal fragments, enzymes, and humic compounds directly to the root zone. Plants respond by increasing root hair density and exudate production. That means better nutrient uptake across the board. Unlike synthetic feeds, worm-based biostimulants don't cause soft growth or nutrient burn. Natural sugars, they're actually meant to fuel microbes, not the plants themselves. Molasses, for example, was never really intended to feed plants directly. Its real role is all about microbial activation. Soil microbes need carbon energy to break down minerals and organic matter. So, when natural sugars are introduced in small amounts, microbial populations just surge. This surge leads to rapid nutrient cycling and, interestingly, warmer, more active soil, even when conditions are on the cooler side. Now, here's where modern advice often goes a bit wrong. It's all about the dosage. Too much sugar can create an imbalance. Traditional growers, on the other hand, use just enough to spark activity, often combining it with ferments or teas so microbes could immediately put that energy to work. Ancient rock dusts, well, they're used to restore the mineral balance that fertilizers have destroyed over the years. Years of synthetic feeding actually strip soils of trace minerals. Plants might look green, but they're missing depth, flavor, and resilience. Rock dusts, like basalt, granite, glacial, and volcanic, were historically applied to restore mineral diversity, not as fertilizers, but as long-term soil correctives. These materials don't dissolve quickly. Instead, microbes slowly exchange acids for minerals over time. This creates steady access to calcium, magnesium, iron, silica, and dozens of micronutrients modern fertilizers ignore. When combined with biological stimulants, rock dusts become a foundation that supports growth for years, not weeks. Why these biostimulants were replaced instead of promoted? None of these inputs produce instant, explosive foliage overnight. They don't fit marketing timelines or profit models. They require observation, patience, and understanding of soil life. That made them inconvenient in an industry built around fast results and repeat purchases. But gardeners who return to these methods often notice something that, honestly, modern systems just can't provide: stability. Plants, you'll find, handle heat better, roots are able to penetrate deeper, and, pest pressure actually decreases. So, how do you start using these forgotten biostimulants safely and effectively? The key really is restraint. Biostimulants work through amplification, not volume. Start small. Observe how your plants respond. It's best to combine biological inputs rather than stacking up concentrated feeds. And always prioritize soil moisture and organic matter so microbes can do their thing. These methods, well, they reward consistency over intensity. Once your soil biology is active, plants can regulate themselves far better than any fertilizer program ever could. The future of gardening, it seems, looks suspiciously like the past. As bands increase and soils degrade, the answer isn't stronger inputs. It's smarter biology. These forgotten biostimulants don't just replace banned fertilizers, they actually expose how unnecessary those fertilizers were all along. When soil is alive, plants grow with a force that honestly no bottle can replicate. If this kind of grounded, no-nonsense gardening speaks to you, make sure to subscribe, share this with another grower who's tired of chasing products, and, well, stick around. The old ways still work, and, they're more powerful than ever.